Good morning, and thank you for joining me today for what started the week as 11 steps that you need to think about to succeed through this crisis. It's now grown to 20 based on information that we've received day by day, hour by hour from other businesses who are in similar situations to you. I'm Marcia Eri, and I'm a business coach who has partnered with one of the largest global business coaching firms in the United States. My purpose today is to empower you and equip you with tools to make pivots in your business so that you can move through this crisis and plan to accommodate the growth that is surely to occur afterwards. You know, I sat on this information for a while because I think I fell into the same trap that many of you are falling into, a little bit a mindset of panic and fear, and wasn't sure what my role in all of this was, how it was going to impact my business, and what I could do to help. And it occurred to me that all of us in a time of crisis want an opportunity to do just that, to give back and help others to be successful. And so I realized that I was sitting on a gift of information. I am part of an organization that gets information from top business leaders throughout the world on a daily basis. And it's my responsibility to share that with my clients and with my community and each of you so that you can take this information, put it to work in your businesses, and be more successful. The exciting part of all of this is if you can learn to take your current business, pivot in the current environment, make the changes that you need to do to be successful, you can do this over and over and over again. Once we get through this season, this is a toolbox and a skill set that many of us didn't know we were going to need or learn or try. And once we have it, no one can take that away from us. And so the next time there will be more shifts in the market. Hopefully there will not be pandemics, but there will be shifts in the market that impact our businesses. And so learning these skills now and looking at your business differently will equip you to be successful when those happen as well. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, your role as a leader is to actually step up and be a leader and communicate as often and as effectively as you can. Primary responsibility is your team. Your goal is to eliminate uncertainty and doubt. Communication on its own builds trust, connection, and relationships with everyone that you deal with on a daily basis. And in this period of isolation, this season of lack of connection, we need to do everything we can to foster relationships and connect in new and different ways. First and foremost is your team. Your team needs to hear from you as a leader. They need to know where you're getting your information, what questions you're asking. No one expects anyone at this point in time to have all of the answers. None of us have ever gone through this before. There's no playbook for this. There's no right and wrong in how we address this, but your team needs to hear from you what you see coming, what you're learning, what expectations you have, and most importantly, how this change is going to impact them, because it will impact them in some way, shape, or form. Your customers need to hear from you, and you need to hear from your customers. So we often talk about communication being sharing of information. One way, and it actually needs to be both ways. You need to be listening just as much, if not more, than you're communicating. So email your customers, let them know what you're doing. If you're limiting your hours, if you're changing your business model, if you're giving them value in a new, different way, they need to know that. It's okay to let people know that you don't have all the answers. Be vulnerable, be empathetic, be sincere and authentic with everyone that you're dealing with. Because you'll expect the same from them, and that's where your connection and your relationships are going to be nurtured. Communicate with your networks. Keep networking, network virtually. Don't stop meeting with people. You're just going to have to do it in a new and different way. You're probably going to have to learn some new skills. You're going to have to expand your comfort zone. So I'm learning very quickly to do things like Facebook Live videos. If I knew a week ago that I was going to be doing a webinar for hundreds of people to hear about a pandemic, I would have probably told you that you were crazy. But it opens up a wealth of opportunities for all of us to learn new skills and try new things and communicate in different ways. You need to be communicating with your suppliers and your stakeholders. So not only do you need to be hearing from them about timelines and dates and supplies of inventory, they need to be hearing from you on what your needs are as well, because remember, you're a customer of theirs. So if you find that things are going to take longer or aren't available, how are you going to adjust and change that? If you don't need certain supplies and someone else needs them, by all means share that so they can reallocate the resources that they have as well. And you need to be communicating with your community. Let them know what you're doing as a business, what you're doing as a community leader, and where they can help. What do you need from them to help get your community through this crisis as well? But the second most important thing right now is to remain positive. Make sure your energy is positive. You're responsible for the energy that you bring into the room, into any relationship. Ensure that you're putting off positivity into the world while still being empathetic. Lack of information leads to panic and anxiety. We all know what happens when we don't know something, where there's a void in information. Our mind makes up all kinds of crazy things, and we've seen that over and over again over the last 2 weeks. Look for small wins, even every hour. There are silver linings in all of this, and everyone needs to be sharing those, and sometimes we have to have those pointed out. Celebrate health. Celebrate the fact that many of us will not be impacted by the disease itself. Many people are in a place where they can't have the reserves to make it through this environment. Many don't. So be empathetic about that. What can you do in your business model to seize opportunities? That's what this is really about today, is getting creative, leading, and communication. Stay abreast of important information and filter the rest. Sometimes less news is better. Sometimes you have to shut off the news. That is a catch-22. I also have talked to clients and business owners who kind of have their head in the sand. They're not watching the news so much that they're forgetting that there's actually valuable information out there that they need to run their businesses. So by and large, information is going to get to you, but it doesn't release you of the responsibility of going and getting it. So don't be naive. Stay ahead of information, but filter what's fact and what's opinion. And most importantly, lead your people. Be a leader. We all need to step up. As I said at the beginning, I almost held this information back, and I realized that we all have an obligation to share what we know and lead and contribute. And this is the way that I can contribute, is by bringing this information to you. Reach out to people who need to hear it. Be communicating and do some things that are outside of your comfort zone that add value to your business, your teams, and your community. This is not a time to argue with facts. I think a couple weeks ago there was a lot of arguing with facts and thinking that what if this is a media stunt, everyone's overacting. The fact of the matter is we've got two situations going on. There's a public health concern, and the government has made it very clear, and rightfully so, that we're going to deal with the public health concern first. There's also an economic downturn that is going to be caused by this pandemic and the public health concern. That will be dealt with secondarily. So that leaves a gap for those of us who are running businesses that we're going to have to deal with the short term, until which time the government can step up and make some decisions about how they can help. So public health concern first, and then economic downturn. So the facts, we have to deal with what we know. The fact is that work, shopping, and entertainment are going to change. People are changing their consumer behaviors. They're in their homes. They're spending time with their families. They're moving much slower. They have time to focus on things that they didn't before. So what does that mean for you and for your business? How can you capitalize on that? How can you meet different needs that customers and clients may have? People are on their phones. They're trying to entertain themselves. So there are industries that may have not been as popular or taken a downturn in past years that are now resurfacing. We're playing a lot of board games in our house. People are looking for ways to entertain themselves. Get creative around that. People are going to pay much more attention to their homes. Home improvement projects, I anticipate, will be reaching a peak when we get through this and everyone recovers from a financial situation. They're focused on what their homes look like and how clean they are. Cleaning companies are one of those businesses that are going to boom right now. There will be winners and losers in this. The winners are the ones that are going to learn to be creative and take the lead and adjust, be willing and flexible to change their business model to meet the needs of customers. Other facts are that distribution methods will change. We are not getting supplies from major supplying countries like China like we did before. We have heard that they are returning to normal, that production is starting to come back up, but it's going to take weeks before that inventory is replaced and that those things and supplies get to us. So we need to be thinking about alternative methods and alternative inventory that we might need in order to provide the level of service that we already have. Suppliers and supplies, supply chain will change. So go back through, map out your supply chain and find out where are the gaps. What do you need to do differently to get supplies? Get creative. Where we would have normally bought from big wholesalers, we may actually need to be shifting that to small businesses. Small businesses need to be prepared for that. There could actually be an opportunity for certain small businesses in this environment. It's not an all or nothing situation. You may need to budget for and plan for express shipping. If the inventory is there, you need to get it. You may need to pay more to get that shipped to you in a timely manner, and you're not going to increase your costs. So your margin on some of your supplies is going to go down, and you need to plan for that. The other certainty in this, the other fact, is that change is going to happen. Things are already changing, and they're going to continue to change over the next few weeks, months, and in some industries, probably years. So the most important thing to do is to be proactive, be daring, take chances. This isn't a time to resist change. Those companies that will thrive are the ones who are able to read the situation, make adjustments, pivot their business model, and make changes they need to make quickly. In this case, the one to move first has the opportunity to win some market share. Be a leader in your industry and capture that. This is the formula for change. Formula for change, for those of you who have not spent much time with me, is the level of your dissatisfaction combined with your vision and the steps to get there have to be greater than your level of resistance. So think about what your level of resistance to change is right now, and move beyond that. Your dissatisfaction and your vision have to be really, really high right now. You have to be willing to make the changes that you need to make in order to move beyond that resistance. It's time to change the rules, to eliminate some of the barriers that you have. This is not a time to stick to doing things the old way, golden cows, and keeping things the way they always have been. It's time to try new things, expand your comfort zone, and do things differently. It's also probably the time to look at new partnerships. Product, services, and pricing all are going to be impacted and need to change. You probably are going to have to break some things in order to build them back even better. Some examples of this are a blind company that obviously people are not purchasing blinds and having people come in their home to redesign right now. So what they've done is taken their existing model and invested in some microbial reducing agents and marketing their services, same business line, but they're marketing to hospitals and nursing homes to go in and disinfect window coverings so that they don't have to replace them. So they're capitalizing on helping others to be safe and more efficient. If you've got customers who are already buying from you from a membership standpoint, so small gyms are looking at opportunities to add value to their clients virtually and online. The worst thing you can do right now is to have people canceling memberships. So it's incumbent on you to be able to add value to make that investment that they're making in you worthwhile. Again, getting creative. You may need to be cutting back. So a little conversation about money. Cash is going to be king right now and into the future. So where can you stop spending? What do you need to do differently? What money and investments did you think that you were going to be making that you need to hold off on? If you were looking at hiring and growth, only do that if you know that you have the operations to support that. If you've got POs out there, talk about pulling those back, work with your suppliers to pull those back, renegotiate what you can now in terms of quantities, prices, profit margins, interest rates. And then slow down things or postpone those big purchases. Capital investments are probably going to have to wait if at all possible, if it's not absolutely necessary to run your business. The other important thing here is grab credit while you can. Money is pretty inexpensive right now. Save your cash and increase your credit line if at all possible. You might not need it, but it's better to have it now and not need it than to need it down the road. Banks are lending, interest rates are low. If you can refinance. So just like we did in post 9/11 in 2008, just like you're doing in your personal life, do that in your business as well. If there are things that fees you can negotiate, if you can refinance loans, do that now so that you have a cushion to get you through the next few months. You need to be prepared to operate on 50% of the revenue that you have traditionally. So how can you do that for the next few months? Cash flow projections are going to be key. If you're not doing that, reach out to me, get a cash flow spreadsheet and start projecting what money are you expecting to come in, what outlays do you have to make so that you can plan and make really, really good decisions. Work with your bankers and your lenders to see what opportunities exist for you. This is hard. This may be inevitable, and there may be no way around it. However, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. There's a lot of creative ways that you can cut back from a staffing perspective and not have to completely eliminate positions. So I've seen a lot of people getting really, really creative about expanding hours, spreading out things. If you have vacation time already budgeted for your staff, let them take their vacations and use their PTO now, because we will come out of this. There will be positives and an upswing in the economy as we come out of this, and you're actually going to need those people. There will be a growth phase coming. So how can you positively impact the economy by keeping as many people in place as you can? Can you adjust hours? Can you reduce everybody by 20% as opposed to eliminating a position? If you can, involve your team. If you do have to make changes, and there are a lot of businesses that will have to make very, very difficult decisions, do it all at once. Don't do the drip effect. Don't keep people on edge and increase the anxiety of your workforce. It's not empathetic, it doesn't do them any good, and it's actually going to reduce your productivity. It increases anxiety and really impacts the perspective and impression that employees have about working for you. So when you do need to ramp back up, it's going to make that even more challenging. Suspend bonus programs and commission programs for in the temporary time being, if you can keep people on a base salary. While not ideal, it is better than having to actually reduce an FTE. Move vacation, so have people take it now. You may have to deny vacations down the road, but it's still better than having to make dramatic shifts. This is obviously already happening. Most of you are moving this way, whether you like it or not, whether you had planned on it or not. So you may need to be making some adjustments. What technology do you need to allow people to work from home? Do you have VPN? Do all of your employees have internet access and phone access? Do you need to move and forward phones? Do you know how to do that? So if your customer service people now need to work at home, how are you going to make that modification? Can you route phones to their homes so that they can still be effective and still increase or keep that communication with customers? What do your meetings need to look like? How many meetings do you really need to have? And what does your reporting look like? Do you need more reporting? Do you need less? If people are working from home, do you need to increase the feedback so that you know what they're doing and the results that they're producing? You also need to probably have some more flexibility and compassion when dealing with staff. Not only are they home working, they're also probably have families at home and others. They're either caring for elderly parents or they may have children at home who are not in school. Encourage them to use flexibility in their time so that they can remain productive. This may be many weeks or into months before this flattens off. The government is doing everything they can to slow the spread, to contain this so that we can rebound quicker, but we need to plan. What we expect next week and next month may look very, very different, and it's changing very rapidly. So what may work this week may not work next week, so plan accordingly. Online deliveries, you may need to add. A lot of restaurants are moving in this direction. Encouraging people, if you have drivers and have drivers with CDL licenses, people that are already delivering, you already have a delivery van, use those resources, reallocate those resources, partner with someone else who needs it. So we have a luxury, there's a few travel companies in the area who do cars, limos, buses. They're not taking people to the airport right now. So how can you partner with them to either deliver your product or service or create a new experience? So can you take a luxury vehicle that's not being used, partner with a luxury restaurant and create a new experience, keeping people safe and allowing them a little joy in this craziness? Do you need to do online or phone delivery? So there are going to be winners in this environment. When we talked about celebrating wins, one of those wins is the fact that we are virtual, and a lot of businesses and business leaders have already moved that direction. Thank goodness, because if this were 20 years ago, a pandemic would have been far more devastating than it could potentially be this time around. People aren't going to come to you. You have to go to them. So how can you get really creative about that? How can you deliver a good or service to their door so that they can come and get it? an example is a hair salon. Hair salons not only provide a service, they also have a retail component. So how can you continue to get goods and services from a retail standpoint to people without having them come in? Can you go to them? We're getting less and less opportunity to actually go into people's homes, but how can you get goods, products, and services to them as opposed to them coming into you? Another opportunity that I like is we're going to talk about really servicing your current clients and customers. Can you create private shopping experiences for them? Show them some love and let them know that you appreciate their patronage, and give them something new and different that maybe they didn't have before. Communicate with those customers. You're not going to know what they need if you're not asking. So goes back to that two-way communication. Find out what they need and what you can provide in order to remain sustainable. Another big takeaway from this presentation today is to keep marketing. You cannot discontinue marketing. This is not a cost. This is an investment in your business. That being said, your marketing has to change. You're going to change your messaging. I've heard this term several times this week, empathetic marketing. Market with empathy. Think about what your customers, clients, potential customers may need. What's in it for them that you can bring and show that you can provide value to them. You should be increasing your marketing, not decreasing it. It's just going to change. Your message is going to change. What's worked in the past, do that. But what's worked in the past might not. So you're not bringing people into your business. So you're going to be marketing new and different things, different hours, different promotions. Show them that you're stepping up and getting creative and innovative, and show them how they can buy from you differently. They still want to do business with you. They still need things from you. Create some new offers and some new rates. Incentivize purchasing of gift cards, prepayment, offer a discount for if they've got a big project that you know they're going to need. Offer a discount for paying that and scheduling that up front. People have downtime. So industries that require planning, this is a great time to capture people's attention. The other thing to think about in marketing is people are on their phones a lot. They're trying to entertain themselves. They're entertaining themselves in different ways. They're not out and about looking at store signs or billboards, but they are virtual. They're on their computers. They're in their homes, they're on social media, and looking at new and creative websites that they haven't before. So last night, our family jumped on a new app to play some trivia to entertain ourselves. There were ads all over that I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. Again, private showings, private use of facilities. So there's a gym that I'm aware of that offers 3 different ways that you can use their services. They'll bring equipment to you. You can do online tutorials. You can come in for a private gym session. So it's just you, and the gym's going to get disinfected before and after you're there. These are while they're adding value to members, but you're also keeping their investment from a membership standpoint. So how can you sustain that over the long haul? If you've worked with me at all, you're familiar with your 5 ways. Continue to measure what your leads and your conversion rate are. Where are your leads coming from? Follow up with them. You have more time and attention to give prospects, so that even if they're not ready to buy for you now, how can you nurture that relationship, and so that when they're ready and when the economy rebounds, you're their first thought. Next is about repeat business. 80% of your business is going to come from about 20% of your clients and customers. So how can you tap into that? How can you keep in contact with them? Go back to your database, be reaching out to them, communicating with them, create deals just for them. We've kind of hit on this. Create some bulk buys and offer them discounts for cash up front, pre-booking, pre-scheduling. keep those customers at all cost in order to be the most efficient and nimble that you can be. Operationally, things are going to have to change. So in this new virtual environment, what do you need to do from a technology standpoint? How are meetings and reporting changing? How do you change how you're providing customer service? Now is the time to show clients love and meet as many needs as you can, and brainstorm with them, get creative, keep that communication line open. Now let's talk about new business. This is not a time to avoid getting new business. There is opportunity here. People still need what you have to offer. It's okay to ask. It's okay to trade value in this time. You just have to be sensitive about it and use some common sense about what makes sense. They might need different things. They may find, they may be using a competitor's service, and if that competitor is panicking and not being innovative and creative, that's an opportunity for you. I think I said at the beginning, those who move first have the opportunity to grab market share. Get cash up front and get people to consider gift cards. So we're not having parties, we're not giving gifts, but there is an opportunity to do gift cards. So you can still give someone an experience, you're just, that experience may not happen immediately. It gives you money up front, and then it gives them something to look forward to when they move out of this crisis. Let's use some common sense. Again, over-deliver on customer service. Communicate with people how you're cleaning, what you're doing within your own business and your own world to help isolate and counteract the disease and the spread of that disease. Don't panic. Your panic is a trigger for everyone else. So at this point in time, we need to be smart, use common sense, not foster opinion and hypothesis, stick to the facts, and help people find a plan forward. Not everyone is going to look at things this way, so this is your opportunity to actually stand up and be a leader in your industry. Use common sense when, as a consumer, buy what you need and spare the rest for everyone else. I heard a great suggestion yesterday about going to the grocery store. We all tend to, in crisis, go to the survival mode and a hoard mentality. Actually, what's probably most beneficial in this environment is to make your list short, get in and get out. Don't be in public places with a lot of people, and only use what you need so that we can spread those goods and services to other people. Be compassionate. Not everyone is going to come through this well and without trauma. There's a lot of grief. There is a lot of panic. There are people who aren't prepared for this, aren't in a position to absorb this. People rely on schools to provide meals and things in daycare to their kids. While those schools are planning for resources to help offset that, people are going to lose their jobs and not going to have income. So let's have compassion for those and do what we can within our community. Goodwill is also a great marketing tool. Do it for the right reasons, but let people know what you're doing. Pay it forward, give people other ideas that they can do. Go give blood in your downtime. Treat other people like you want to be treated. Now, other people may have a different perspective than you do, so be cognizant of that as well. Don't assume everyone is in your same situation. We're all human. We've got to put people first and be nice and relax and do what we can do and let the rest go. This is a time of slowing down, which is not always bad. I think in a lot of ways, there's some good that comes out of all of us slowing down. Some things aren't going to change. The weather is still the weather. It is raining today. It could still snow here in the Midwest. And industries are impacted by that. We're still going to do probably lawn work. People are still going to eat out. Our needs may turn more to those core needs than luxury items, but life is still going to go on for some people. Things are still going to break. We still have to repair things. So the trades, we've got a shortage of tradespeople. We're still going to need them potentially now even more than ever. So don't overlook that. How can you help? Do you have workers that you can move? If you're looking at having to lay workers off in your industry because they're not supported, reach out to others who are in need and come up with some opportunities to cross-train and employ in a different way. It's a great way to partner. We've talked about money quite a bit. With age comes wisdom. Some of us have been through recessions before. What worked in the past, do the same things again. We talked about tightening up cash flow. There's an increase in credit. There's opportunities. Interest rates are low. There's opportunities. If you have extra and excess, think about investment opportunities in real estate, other businesses. You may find other revenue streams to help support the business that you're in now. Diversification right now is going to be key. And if you didn't save this time, make a note to do that next time. So if you're having to dig into credit and pay some interest rates to get through this, next time you will think about saving more and saving earlier so that you don't make that mistake again. It's all about a learning lesson. So there's no judgment in that. Just learn the lesson and know what to do next time. More conversation around your team. Leverage the team that you have. We've talked about communication over and over. There is no rule book here. There's not a standard operating procedure. There's no systemization for a pandemic. The healthcare industry is trained and regulated to be able to accommodate these, but until you're actually in it, no one knew what to expect. And so leaders have to be leaders and lead those that are going to follow. If you don't lead, many of them will congregate together and potentially fall right off that cliff. So be a leader, not just in your business, not just with your team, be a leader in your family, and most importantly, in your community. Take this time to add value where you can. The other thing I will say about using your downtime, use this as a time to plan your marketing, develop some systems in your business. If you haven't mastered the foundation of setting long-term goals, if you haven't mastered how you're spending your time, this is a break. This is something new and different. You have the opportunity to recreate habits and how you're spending your time going forward. If you don't have systems in place in your business, volume is going to increase. So use this break to write your handbooks, map out your processes, get things systematized so that when volume goes back up, you're ready to run your operation smoothly and effectively. Create a plan now. As we've mentioned, things are changing rapidly, hourly, daily, weekly. So we're just getting to the end of Q1. So typically we would lay out a 90-day plan. Your 90-day plan is going to look very, very differently. You're probably going to need to break this down into the next week, the next 4 weeks, and then the next 90 days. And you're going to have to be prepared to pivot that and make changes as things change. They've already changed over the last 24 or 48 hours. They could be changing again. So planning ahead, what's plan A, B, and C in case certain things happen. Look at all areas of your business in your life. Plan on operating with less revenue. Your mindset should probably be, how can we function over the next few weeks and months on 50% of the revenue that we traditionally have? What changes and adjustments do we need to make? Get really good at this formula. Learn what you need to learn, plan, act, see what works, and go back and learn some more. You probably have the knowledge already to put a plan together. We're in a period of overloaded information. That's why I appreciate your time today to look at this checklist of 20 things. We tried to simplify all of that information into some really meaningful and powerful items that you need to put and make sure are included in your plan. You can probably create an action plan in a few hours if you really sit down and do it, but you may need help. You might be overwhelmed. You might not, you may be someone who doesn't like change and isn't intuitive or creative. So reach out to me. I am offering a free pivot strategy session for everyone in attendance today. And really all business leaders in the community to help them be prepared and put their plans together. So reach out, create networks of people of like minds that are innovative and creative. If you're not creative yourself, reach out to your partners and find people who are. Create with deadlines. This creates momentum and motivation and ensures that you get those things done. Be a learner now. Separate fact from fiction. Learn what you need to learn. If there's pieces of information that you don't have to run your business, then take this time to educate yourself and put those plans into action. Be brave. This isn't a time to think small or to try to play it safe. This is a time where leaders need to lead. Be brave, make challenging decisions, be bold, move out of comfort zones and expand, try new things, but be ready and prepared to pivot and try some new things. Add value where you can. I saw a great Twitter example from Barcelona the other day where we can't be connected physically, but someone took their keyboard out on a balcony and played music, and someone else joined in with a sax. Where can you add value to everyday life? Offer the gifts that you have and that you've been given to help make things better. Go give blood, as long as we can still give blood. Offer to help other people, take care and be mindful of folks who don't have the resources that we have. If you know elderly people who can't get out and run errands, offer to do that. And be really, really proactive in your business. So what do you do from here? We've covered 20 key things that you need to be thinking about and steps that you need to take in your business to move through this period of crisis. Things you can do are leverage me. I've opened up my calendar. I'm offering free pivot strategy sessions for individuals so that you can see the value of coaching, and I can, it's my opportunity to help give back. And when we do that, you'll learn how we might be able to work together. Right now, coaching is about survival. It's not about growth. In the future, we will be talking about the need for a coach for growth, but right now it's about survival and creativity and planning. After today, I would list 5 ideas that you need to take action on today. Get those out on paper and put a plan together with some milestones and some deadlines to get those accomplished. Follow me on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram. All of those accounts are Action Coach Marcia Erickson. I will be doing future videos. I will be keeping you updated, sharing the information that I have as it comes in to help you be successful during this time of change. Reach out. Thanks for joining me today, and take action.